Hi everybody, in today's video we're going to be learning about the difference between the metric system and the imperial system. Knowing the difference in these two systems is very important not only in an academic setting, but also when relating to the real world. First, we're going to start with the metric system. Under three categories we have distance, temperature, and mass. For distance, we're going to be using centimeter, meter, and kilometer. For temperature, we have Celsius, and mass, we have grams and kilograms. For the imperial system, for distance, we're going to be using inches, feet, yards, and miles. For temperature, we're going to be using Fahrenheit, and mass, we're going to be using ounce and pounds. The overarching question for today's video is going to be how do these systems of measurements compare? So, let's go measure. So the first thing that we're going to be measuring today is a burdock leaf. We're going to be measuring from the end of the stem to the tip of the leaf. As you can see here, I have drawn out a meter stick and a yard stick. As you can see, the halfway points are much different in the units centimeters and inches. If you were to put the burdock leaf, which is approximately 15.5 inches or 39.5 centimeters, on the stick, you can see the difference in the rulers. This is because a meter stick is approximately 3.3 inches longer or 8.4 centimeters longer than a yardstick. If you're to take it down to a smaller scale, we know that 12 inches makes up 1 foot. If you look at your rulers, you will see that on most of them you have an inch side and a centimeter side. You will see that those 12 inches is also equivalent to 30.5 centimeters, which is just a little bit smaller than our burdock leaf. If you take it to an even smaller scale, you can see that one of those 30.5 centimeters only takes up a small fraction of that 1 foot length. If you go even smaller and you look at 1 inch, you can see that it's maybe a little bit less than a third. A centimeter is less than a third of 1 inch. And this is a good way to reference our world around us by comparing imperial versus metric measurements. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to focus on measuring is the difference between metric and imperial in temperature. So metric uses Celsius and imperial uses Fahrenheit. The scale here is very important when we're going back and forth between comparing Celsius and Fahrenheit. As you can see, because Celsius's boiling point is 100, but Fahrenheit's boiling point is 212. Similarly, Celsius has a freezing point of 0, and Fahrenheit has a freezing point of 32. So for example, if we were to compare a hot day, our hot day is going to be around 90 degrees Fahrenheit, where somebody that uses the metric system would compare those to around 32 degrees Celsius. Also, a moderate day around 70 for Fahrenheit and 21 for Celsius. A really cold day, about 40 for Fahrenheit and about 4 for Celsius. This is important when looking over scientific literature or just talking with somebody that is more used to the metric system or the imperial system. Next, we're going to talk about mass. Now we're going to talk about mass. We're going to compare the difference between the metric system and the imperial system using grams and ounces. We have 3 things we're going to measure. We have a metal weight, an orange, and a metal water bottle. So as you can see on our scale, we're in ounces right now. And so I'm going to weigh all 3 of them. We have the weight in ounces, which is about 7 ounces. We have the orange, which is about 7.5. And we have the water bottle, which is about 10.4. Now I'm going to switch it to grams. Now that our scale is in grams, we can use the weight again. The weight was about 7 ounces but it is 199.6 grams. The orange was about 7.5 ounces, but in grams, it's about 212.6. For the water bottle, which was about 10.4 ounces, in grams, it's gonna be 295.8. So knowing the difference between our metric units and our imperial units when talking about mass is very important when we're conceptualizing the world around us. So you might go to the grocery store and measure fruits and vegetables in ounces or pounds, but if you're in a scientific setting, you might see units like grams and kilograms. Being able to convert back and forth between these units is very important. Thank you for watching.